Hey friends, welcome back to Guess What? Compliance Can Be Simple. I'm your host, Dr. Natasha Guess, and today we're diving into something that can absolutely transform the way your practice operates. Something that separates reactive practices from truly resilient, audit ready practices. And that something is this: turning compliance into a team habit, not a task, not a checklist, not a once a year panic button, but a habit, a culture, a shared responsibility. Let me start with the truth. Every audit issue I've ever seen in the last 10 plus years came down to one thing: not lack of knowledge, but lack of shared ownership. Compliance collapses when it lives in a silo. Think about it. If one person is carrying policies, procedures, training logs, BAAs, risk assessments, breach reporting, and that one person leaves or burns out or even gets overwhelmed, everything falls apart. Not because your team is incapable, but because your team was never included. Recently, I worked with a med spa. Their office manager was brilliant, organized, disciplined, dedicated. But she was carrying everything. Every piece of compliance lived in her head or in her inbox. And then a small payer audit came through. Guess what? They were not ready, not because they were negligent, but because the entire system relied on one person. That's not a compliance failure. That's a structure failure. And here's the thing: this situation is extremely common. Think about it. Think about your practice. Does this happen? Because I've seen many small practices, their leaders unintentionally create compliance bottlenecks. And bottlenecks always break under pressure. So I sat with the practice. We changed the model, not with a huge overhaul, not with expensive software. We started with distribution. Yes, distribution. One person took signage, another took annual training reminders, another kept the privacy binder organized, someone else maintained patient communication. Small task, clear roles. Consistency instead of chaos. And within a few weeks, their culture shifted. Compliance wasn't heavy anymore, it became muscle memory. So, today I want to give you 3 key principles to help your small team with this. 1. Compliance must be communicated, not announced. I have seen most practices wait until a deadline or an issue to talk about compliance. But strong organizations, they weave compliance into daily and weekly conversations. 5-second reminders during huddles, quick updates during busy seasons, and then short check-ins after policy changes. This helps a lot. Culture is built through repetition, not memos. So ensure that you are repetitive with your small practice. Principle 2: Collaboration always increases accuracy. When people closest to the workflow are included, blind spots, they automatically disappear. Your front desk sees patient flows. Your tech see documentation issues. Your providers know clinical risk. You can't have a complete compliance picture without including them. When the team participates, the compliance program becomes more accurate, it becomes more effective. And that is what helps your practice to stay successful. Principle 3. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Every time. You don't win an audit with a last minute scramble, pulling from every which way that takes 5 hours. You win because you maintained micro habits consistently. 5 minutes a week reviewing logs. 1 reminder about business associate agreements. 1 quick check of your privacy binder. It helps with the win. Consistency protects you every time. Panic will expose you. Let me say that again. Consistency protects you every single time. Panic will expose you. Now, here's today's mini audit moment. You know I love to do this. If I walked into your practice and asked your newest employee where your privacy policy lives, not the theory about it, where it actually lives, the real, actual document, could they tell me? If the answer is no, okay, that means you know exactly where to start in your office. Compliance is not just awareness. Compliance is access. So I want you to think about your team. Who actually owns compliance? Not on paper, in practice. Who owns compliance? Where are the bottlenecks? Where are those gaps? Who's carrying too much? Who isn't carrying enough? And what one small task can you delegate this week that makes compliance a shared habit instead of a personal burden? Think about that. Give it a few minutes. Reflect on it. And then when you go into the office, put it into action. If you're listening to me and thinking, oh my God, my team is not aligned yet, that's actually okay. Awareness is the doorway to progress. So ensure that you start small. Choose one policy, one habit, one micro process, and then build from there. To help you get started, download your team compliance kickstart sheet at guestcomplianceconsultantllc.com. It gives you simple role assignments and weekly habits that makes compliance predictable and sustainable. So, until next time, keep it simple, keep it compliant, and keep your team inspired.